Adam, then Jeremy.
Can you just give an update on Kevin Kelsey's status? Looks like he's training in full today.
Yeah, he was back with the group today after a few days sort of training alone, so probably have a better idea tomorrow, but really hoping that we can have him involved in some capacity.
When you first took charge as an interim, you had 6 weeks to prepare for Seattle. Now you're playing them again in such a short turnaround. What did you see from the first game that you really want the team to improve upon this time?
It's a good question because we did do very well that night. I think we'll get a better version of Seattle. Brian's an experienced coach. He knows how to navigate these spells very well. So I think we've got to be aware it's going to look like a different game. Okay, we're going to be at home. They're coming off the back of some bad run of results, so they'll want to turn around. So it's just, we spoke about what the game could look like, what we feel it will look like. Obviously, they've had a couple of games since then that we've been able to watch, and I just think it's really important that we get the mindset right, that we start the game really well, just to put us in a really good position as the game goes on.
You've got a few games left, maybe this is your last, maybe two more or whatever, but what will you tell Martí Cifuentes what you've learned about this group working with them for 2 months now?
I think he's inheriting a group of players that work extremely hard. I think you've seen that over the last 3 games, and hopefully that will be 4 after this weekend. And I'm excited about what he can do with the group. I think we've made really good progress in this short amount of time. I think the likelihood is this is probably the last league game for myself. I would assume. I haven't obviously had official confirmation on that, but with the time between now and the Leagues Cup and then the next MLS game. But I think he's got an exciting group of young players that he'll have time to mould in the way he wants. I'm sure over the period of time there could be additions and all of these things, all the conversations which I won't be privy to if I'm being honest with you. But the players are giving me and the staff absolutely everything. I want to make a real point of that. I think the initial conversations we had with the playing group at the start was how they wanted to take more accountability over this next period, and they've really done that, and I can't compliment them enough and thank them enough for what they've given us during this time.
You've been able to be a part of some pretty spectacular moments at Providence Park in the short time that you've been here. Last match with Pipe Mora being exceptional. How do you expect Providence Park, the Timbers Army, and that atmosphere to be charged with the hope you've given this team this weekend?
I think it's going to be a special atmosphere. I think the place is going to be bouncing. We all know there's not a better stadium in the MLS for atmosphere anyway. But I think with the run that we've been on, with the fact that it's a derby game, I think it's going to be an exceptional evening in terms of the noise. And what we're hoping is we can match their energy with a really good front-footed performance, just to give a really good account of ourselves and finish off this first sort of period of 4 games before the Leagues Cup break, or Leagues Cup games I should say, in a really positive way.
Jack, quick question. How do you carry that good momentum coming back from the break, still undefeated? How do you carry that momentum in practice at training where it matters?
The momentum from the start of the season? Just continuing to train every day. We put a lot of emphasis, and I put a lot of emphasis on just being able to control how we train. A lot of the focus in this period for me has been about what can I control in this interim period. It's been around the training sessions, what we're delivering to the players, whether it be video, whether it be on the pitch, and we've just focused on trying to improve our training behaviours, about how my vision was of how I want the team to train. Quite simply, I want the team to train as we play. I think sometimes it doesn't need to be any more complicated than that. And we've added a real competitive edge to the training sessions, and the players have turned up and put it in every day in relation to that. They wanted that. They wanted that competitive nature in the sessions, and we've brought that to them, and they've taken it on, and they've trained very well every day.
I know that you said earlier that you're going to reflect on this period after the season is over, but if I asked you now, maybe ahead of your last MLS game, the move between when you first took over before Seattle and now between playing Seattle again, what would you say the differences are between your tenure?
The players came in positive after the break, if I'm being honest with you. There wasn't any bad attitudes or any sort of negativity in the air, actually. So they actually came back refreshed. I think that 3-week break probably helped them with that, you know. But of course, when you win football matches or you're getting positive results and performances, naturally the mood will slightly get better and increase, and that just creates a little bit of an energy. So I think that's probably more down to their hard work in relation to results and the performances that they've put in over the last 3 games. That helps you create momentum, and I hope we can take that into Saturday.
13th when you took over, and now in your last league game you can get the Timbers into the playoff spots. How motivating is that for you, and to potentially pass Seattle in that process too?
Do you know, I haven't even looked at the league table. I've just tried to take each game as it is, and just focus on getting a positive performance in every game. We haven't even really spoke about the results of the game with the players. We just spoke about the process, how we want to do things, how we want to play, what we're reviewing every week, and we've been really consistent with our training, with our video meetings, with what we're asking of the group. And every game we've just focused on one game at a time. I know it's a boring cliche, but that is the honest truth of it. And Saturday will be no different. If we get a positive result, then maybe I'll look at the league table after that.
Profe, what do you think about the new addition, the Vincent Janssen? And is there any chance that he's gonna play this week?
No, because we're awaiting a visa. Good guy. Had a really positive conversation with him. Of course, he'll have deeper conversations with Marty when he arrives, because he's going to be taking time, one, to get his visa, get his fitness up to speed, but obviously he's not available for selection due to the visa process at the club.
What do you think about him?
Oh yeah, he's a highly experienced player. I think it adds good experience to the group. He's played for some big football clubs, Fenerbahce, Tottenham, and just to name a couple. So I think that is helpful for the group, because we've got a young group. So I think any experience that we can add to that can really help the young guys.
Hi coach, you were using a lot Diego Chara. Knowing his experience, what can you tell me about his performance?
I think he's been excellent. It was something that I knew that I wanted to do, is bring him back into the fold a little bit. I think he still has a lot to offer. He's got hundreds and hundreds of games, which can really help that decision making, and I think you've seen with his performances, he's been really consistent, and he's also been helping Caicedo a lot. We've been doing a lot of individual meetings, and Liam's been working with them in particular together, and we've sort of been using Diego to help Jose, and that's been excellent. And he's just a top human being. You know him better than me, so I can't compliment him enough. One as him as a guy, and secondly his performances.
Okay, we're gonna wrap there. Thanks for the time, everyone.
Thank you.
We'll have Vincent inside.